Hello and welcome to another episode of Pick 3 DST, where I give you 3 defenses I like and 1 defense I'm fading for week 14 of the NFL season. I'm your host Eric Samulski, and as always, these are not my full weekly DST rankings. If you want to check out those, you can click the link below or go to RotoBaller.com, where I update my rankings during the week for weather, injury reports, or anything else that I think will impact the DST landscape. We're going to start with the defense I'm fading for this week, and it's the Cincinnati Bengals. Consensus has them at 11th. I have them down at 18th. I just don't really see the Bengals as a defense I'm comfortable playing this week. They're 25th for me in my season-long BOD rankings, best overall defense. They've really been trending down in terms of pressure rate, and they're going up against a Browns team that gives up the 10th fewest points to opposing fantasy defenses. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the Browns are a very run-heavy team with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, so they don't really pass the ball that much. They don't give up a lot of sacks. They don't turn the ball over. That really limits the ceiling for a fantasy defense. Plus, we had another week of Deshaun Watson kind of getting back into the flow of that offense, so they might be a little bit more dynamic than we think. But I really just don't see this being a real high upside opportunity for the Bengals, so I would just rather choose somebody else. My sleeper defense for this week is the Las Vegas Raiders. Consensus has them 13th and I have them 10th. So they're not really a huge sleeper, but I want to highlight them because this is a pretty bad fantasy defense that we're putting into the top 10. And the only reason that we're doing that is obviously because of the matchup. They face the Rams, who give up the most fantasy points to opposing defenses at almost 15 points a game. The Rams don't have many of their stars. They may be starting Baker Mayfield at quarterback on Thursday. Even if that happens, if it's Baker Mayfield, if it's John Wolford, if it's Bryce Perkins, it doesn't really matter to me. This is an offense I really want to attack, especially with the Raiders defense that really is playing with a little bit more enthusiasm lately now that they're back in the AFC playoff race. Against the Chargers, the Raiders had 5 sacks and a turnover, so I think they're really going to step their game up against the Rams. I just really don't see anybody on this Rams offense that's going to hurt this Raiders defense. So I think they're a solid top 10 play, but maybe not a ceiling kind of top 5 option for this week. My solid defense for the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Consensus has them 9th, and I have them up at 8th. It looks like we're going to get Tyler Huntley at quarterback for the Ravens, and while Huntley has had some splash plays and some big moments that you remember from highlight reels, he also turned the ball over 8 times in his 4 starts last year. So fantasy defenses have done pretty well against them, and we have a Steelers defense that we know is trending up with TJ Watt back. In the 4 games that TJ Watt is back, the Steelers defense has 7 turnovers and 8 sacks. So this is moving, there's a team moving in the right direction against a Ravens offense that is going to be without Lamar Jackson, already without Rashad Bateman. So it's really Mark Andrews and I guess Gus Edwards with a pretty inexperienced and inconsistent quarterback under center. I really like the Steelers in this game. Again, I think that we're talking about a low upside game. I don't think the Ravens are all of a sudden going to turn into a mess, but the Steelers should be a pretty solid top 10 option for you. And my stud defense for the week is the Kansas City Chiefs. Consensus has them 4th, and I have them 4th. Yes, you should play the Cowboys and the Eagles above the Chiefs. They are my 2 top-ranked defenses for the week, but they're givens based on their matchup and their recent play. So I want to talk about the Chiefs because they're facing a Broncos offense that gives up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing defenses. Over the last 6 weeks, the Chiefs are the 11th ranked defense at 6.8 points per game. So they're just outside of the top 10. So you take a defense just outside of the top 10, give them a really good matchup, and then you've got Cortland Sutton banged up, Jerry Jeudy still working his way back from an injury, and a Broncos offense that has just really been inconsistent this year, and I think the Chiefs are in a really good spot. The Broncos defense is pretty good, but I expect the Chiefs to put up points, so the Broncos aren't going to be able to lean on the run that much. They're going to have to throw, and that's when they're going to get the Chiefs are going to get some sacks, they're going to get some turnovers, and I think it's going to catapult them to a top 5 performance for this week because I don't really see the Broncos putting up too many points. So any sacks and turnovers the Chiefs can get is going to bump them up even higher. If they're averaging around 7 points over the last 6 weeks, I think a double-digit total is within the realm of possibility for this week. If you haven't yet, please click below to like and subscribe to get Pick 3 DST every single week, as well as the rest of our RotoBaller content, our start-sit videos, our DFS videos, our weekly rankings videos, and everything so that we can help you not only win your leagues, but win money this season.